You know the feeling, right? The offer letter lands in your inbox, your heart starts doing a little drum solo, and you get that knot in your stomach. Is this the right number? Now, everyone says you should always negotiate, but honestly, that advice misses the most important part. See, the most effective strategies, they aren't about being aggressive. They're about being smart, really smart.
So, first things first, let's just completely reframe how we think about this. A lot of people see negotiation as this big, aggressive battle where you have to fight tooth and nail for every single dollar. But that's not it at all. It's really more like a strategic dance. It's a game of psychology, timing, and positioning. And the best moves? They're subtle. They guide the whole conversation right where you want it to go, sometimes before the other person even knows what's happening.
Okay, let's get into our first secret, and this one will completely change how you look at that very first number they give you. It's all about something called the offer floor.
Right. Here's the big mindset shift. That initial number they offer you, it's not a ceiling you're trying to inch your way up from. You need to think of it as a concrete foundation. It is the absolute guaranteed minimum they are willing to pay for this role. They've already gotten the approvals, they've already budgeted for it. This is their starting block, not their finish line.
So how you respond is absolutely crucial. You have to treat their offer as just one piece of data, not as an anchor that's going to drag down your expectations. Your next move is to calculate your counteroffer based on your real market value, what your research tells you, what your expertise is worth. You're not just asking for a tiny little percentage bump on their number. No way. Your job is to introduce a brand new, higher anchor into the conversation, one that truly reflects the value you're about to bring them.
Let's move on to our second secret, which is a really clever psychological play. It's all about focusing on the perks before you even bring up the base salary.
This whole strategy is about adopting a total compensation mindset. By talking about things like remote work options, a budget for professional development, or maybe a better job title first, you're sending a powerful signal. You're showing them you're invested in a long-term future with the company, that you care about your growth and the role itself, not just the paycheck.
Think of it like this. You get these non-salary wins on the board first. You're getting a series of small yeses from them. This puts them into an agreement mindset, and it gets them psychologically invested in making you happy. So when you finally circle back around to the base salary, you're not starting a fight, you're just ironing out the final details of a partnership you've already started to build together.
All right, on to secret number 3, and this one is all about timing. Because the absolute best moment to negotiate for more money, it is almost certainly not when you think it is.
Just forget about waiting for your annual review. Seriously. Your greatest point of leverage, the moment you have the most power, is right after you've delivered a huge win. Maybe you landed a massive client, or you just crushed a major project, or you saved the day on something big. That is your peak moment. You have to use that momentum when your value has never been clearer or more obvious.
And here's why this works so incredibly well. First, you're being proactive, right? You're not just passively waiting for some scheduled and often kind of stingy budget cycle. Second, you are directly linking your request to the immediate tangible value you just delivered. And third, and this is so important, you're not asking for a standard raise. You're reframing the whole thing as a market adjustment to properly reflect your proven high-level contributions. It just sounds different.
Okay, now for a really powerful shift in your thinking. Secret number 4 isn't about quantifying what you've done. It's about quantifying what would happen if you suddenly weren't there anymore.
So instead of just saying, hey, I do a good job, you frame your value in terms of risk mitigation for the company. Now, you're not making a threat, not at all. You are subtly and professionally highlighting the enormous cost and pain of trying to replace your unique institutional knowledge. This completely shifts the conversation. Suddenly, your salary isn't a cost item on a spreadsheet. It's a critical investment in stability and continuity.
And that brings us to our final secret. And this one is the easiest to explain, but it requires the most discipline, and it might just be the most powerful tool you have in your entire toolkit.
Okay, picture this. The moment arrives. You've done all your research. You've built your case. You state the number for your counteroffer. You say it clearly. You say it with confidence. And then you do the most important thing of all. You stop talking. You just stop. You embrace the silence. Now, every instinct in your body is going to scream at you to fill that awkward void, to start justifying your number, because silence makes us super uncomfortable. But you can't. You have to resist. That silence creates psychological pressure, and it puts the ball squarely back in their court.
It forces them to be the next one to speak and to respond to your number, which signals that you are firm and totally confident in the value you've presented.
So when you put all of these secrets together, what do they really add up to? It's a fundamental shift in your mindset. You're moving away from just passively taking whatever's offered to proactively demonstrating your total, undeniable worth. This stops being about one single transaction and starts being about building a smart, long-term strategy for your entire career.
So, the final question really is for you. Think about your next salary talk, whether it's for a brand new job or a raise where you are right now. Which one of these subtle but oh so powerful moves are you going to use?